All right, perfect. Well, I certainly appreciate everyone taking the time here to join us today. My name is Asaf Noguera, and I'm joined here by Niall Allen. We are both part of the solutions team over at Fastr, and we are here today to take you through a number of examples from projects we've been working on recently with our clients, utilizing a mix of functionality, a mix of integrations that we have available in the platform. The hope here, of course, is to walk you through these examples so that you know the capabilities and so that we can show off what we've been working on, of course. But ultimately, this is meant to inspire and give ideas. If there are things that the teams have already been discussing, please don't hesitate to drop a question in the chat there or reach out to your client to your customer success manager so we can set up calls so that we can explore these ideas further. At the very least, we hope that you can take away even just a little bit of some of the newer functions and features that we've been putting together here. And to get started today, the first stop is Nick and Zoe example here. So bear with me one sec. I'm going to start sharing my screen. For most of the folks here on the call, they probably recognize us or have utilized us for more of the static content in the past. Things like, for example, homepage carousels, banners, entire landing pages. And that's where Nick and Zoe here started. They first built us, and we're currently built this homepage, and that's where they're using us today. They're also using us in various areas of the site, like the latest as well. Again, the ability to design freely, design as you see fit, that's one of the key differentiating factors from our platform. You can go straight from design to your site in just a few clicks and by copying in the embed code. But the idea here is that, again, you still have the ability to be able to put together this rich and engaging content. But of course, clients, as we've moved forward in time, clients have wanted to start bringing in more functionality, have wanted to start bringing in product details and live dynamic data and content, and weave it into these designs, bringing together form and function. And so usually the first stop for many of our clients is trying to take advantage of that upsell or cross-sell opportunity that sits on their PDPs, on their product display pages. That's where Nick and Zoe, that's where the next step took them to. Here we have a product page from the team. And as you can see here, this is a standard, in this case here, Salesforce Commerce Cloud page. But ultimately, when it comes to cross-sell and upsell, many times all that our clients are doing, or all the many folks are doing, is that they'll have a carousel that's just shoved all the way to the bottom of the page. And while that is a great place, again, great positioning, great brings together great technology, what the Nick and Zoe team here wanted to do is bring that content, give it some new life, and bring it into the immediate viewport, into that immediate load of the page. So here we have the fringe mixed knit jacket, and as you can see, underneath the add to bag section is the how to wear it section here. As we scroll down through the images here, we can see that they actually have two tiles here with different products, ultimately being able to bring together a curated list of products so that they can inspire the client, right? So that they can give them different ideas on how to accessorize, bring together other products that they have on the site, where again, in a traditional sense, it might be in a carousel format. This gives them that quick and easy way if they want to be able to purchase the necklace or purchase the shirt, the pants, all they have to do is just click on it. It opens up their quick view, allowing them to add it to bag, select the size, color, and be able to create an entire look without ever leaving the page. Now, again, this here is a manually curated list, meaning that they're doing these for specific products for the top sellers across the site. It's not something in this case here that is Salesforce giving, being able to pull together the logic. And so that's where the next step that they wanted to take would be is how can we go ahead and repurpose some of the other tools that we utilize, like Einstein in this case, which is standard to Commerce Cloud, a personalization tool. How can we bring that to life in our content? And so that's their next step here. Currently, they weren't utilizing Einstein anywhere on their site. So they took it into here where they were able to build out an entire design and then showcase it directly within their page. So as we go through here, again, different design, you can see that they don't have the shop to look here in this case. But if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, here we have the you may also like carousel. In this case, a very simple design, nothing too fancy there. The idea is simply that they wanted to bring in Einstein recommendations into a design that they have full control over. Now, what does it mean to have full control over the design? Many platforms out there allow you to pull together these types of carousels, this type of content. But what our platform truly tries to bring to life and bring to light for our clients is the control over the design so that anyone on the team, be it the marketing team, merchandising team, creative team, can come in here, build as they see fit, but still have that dynamic content, still be able to tie into things like personalization tools or directly to product feeds and bring to life any design you want with that information coming into the design in real time. So how does this work in the backend? I'm going to transition here to the backend of our platform. As you can see here, It's pretty simple in terms of the layout, but the idea here is that what you're seeing are two slides of our carousel. Each slide here presents five products. These products, these red squares that you're seeing, or excuse me, red rectangles, are purely product tiles of their own design. You have full control over what font to use, how to position the name, the price, the image. As we expand the menu out a little bit further here, you can see that each one is just a combination of different widgets in our tool. So what that means is that you can pick and choose exactly what you want to show. Maybe you just want the name, you don't want the price for whatever reason, or maybe you want to bring in additional information. As you'll see in an example here that Al will show in just a little bit, you're able to bring through any key pieces of detail that you want from your site, be it something like color swatches or reviews, and really bring this to life and showcase all the details that you would like in a layout like this. So as you can see here, we have the link, the price, the name, the image. All that the team here needs to do is just map these elements. So very quickly here over on the right-hand side, you're seeing all I'm doing is for the image widget, I'm selecting image URL. And our system understands that, for example, the first product tile should get product one in the recommendation tools that you're utilizing it, and it handles that indexing automatically. So again, we can pull through products from any platform, from any platform that you're utilizing within your tech stack, be it through an API, be it through a feed of some sort, or be it through direct HTML scraping. Now, again, this is a very simple layout here with regards to how the products are positioned. You can certainly bring this to life in other ways as well. And that's what Niall will show here with one of our other clients, Notori, in the ability to be able to create entire PLP, entire category pages. So now I'll stop sharing and over to you.
Thanks, Asaf. So yeah, just before I start sharing my screen, so as Asaf said, with Notori, we're looking to try and tackle a slightly different use case, but similar in a lot of ways. If you think about what Asaf just showed, a 10 product carousel, when it came to Notori, we went bigger effectively. So we started looking at what can we do to provide customization and give the customer the ability to have full control over the PLP. So probably some of the main pages that customers will go to find products. And traditionally, as you see on the screen here, this is one of the Notori PLPs that we've rebuilt. Traditionally, PLPs very usually driven by very templated design, meaning that if you go to look at, say, 10 different websites and look at their PLP or product listing page, you're probably going to get a very similar look and feel to what we're seeing at the moment. So this is a 4x6 24 product grid, but again, this has been completely rebuilt in Fastr, and we did this to solve mainly two use cases for Notori. The first one is Notori use a tool for their merchandising strategies called SearchSpring. SearchSpring is a very good tool for building out category pages in particular, because you can enter in certain criteria about how you want to group products together, how you want to merchandise effectively, and SearchSpring will go off and be very good at getting that data together and putting it in a form that seems to make sense for your products. But something that Notori found they were lacking from that SearchSpring is what SearchSpring to provide are the typical static sort of templates that we see for product landing pages or listing pages even, or PLPs. So the first sort of use case we're looking to tackle here was how can we use that ability in Fastr to pull that data in dynamically, but then give the customer the ability to swap and shape this around. The second use case, and the one that I'll actually show first to begin with Notori, was Notori spend a lot of investment into their social media advertising strategy. They send out lots of posts via Instagram, Facebook, the usual sort of social media platforms, advertising their products, and those products link back to the PLP that product can be found on. Now, social media posts persist for usually quite a long time. You may find that customers go to visit or come across your social media post maybe 6 months later. And by that time, that product could well have fallen down the PLP. It might not even be on page one of the PLP anymore. So the thing that's attracted the customer to the site for Notori to go and make a purchase is not the thing that's in front of the customer when they land on that page. Now, to tackle that, Notori could well have built out lots of different, slightly more static PLPs that each social media post linked to. But with the kind of social media strategy they have, over time, that would become cumbersome. In fact, it wouldn't even take a very long time for it to become cumbersome and unmanageable for Notori. So what we look to do is, whilst we're rebuilding this PLP, is think of a way that we could potentially have Notori pass something to us when a customer visits the site via a social media post that says, hey, the customer clicked on this product, they're really interested in this one, go and put it in slot number one of the PLP. And if you can see here, this is a current PLP with no extra parameters on it. And if I just flick to my next tab here, this is the same PLP. And all that Notori are doing on their social media adverts is tagging a product SKU. And being merchandisers, they are very familiar with their product SKUs, and they're very happy to work with product SKUs. And all they're doing is tagging a product SKU. And we can see here, if I just flip back to the first one and go back again, that we've replaced the first product in the grid with the product that brought the customer to them. So now when the customer's interested in making a purchase, they don't need to go any further than looking for what the first product is. And the way that we've built this out, we actually support multiple products. Notori could, in theory, pass us 24 SKUs and what's on the first page, for example, and we would redo the whole page with just those SKU-based products. So again, what does this look like in the background? So if I go into the back end of the platform, we can see we've got a board layout here. And each of these product tiles, very similar to the carousel example that Saf showed you, each of these product tiles contains a range of information based on what those products provide. So let's just go back to the front again. We've got brand names, pricing. We're dynamically calculating pricing to show different versions of pricing depending on what the pricing is for that product. So in this case, for example, all variants are the same price. In the next example along, all variants are below the master price, which is why we've got the strike through, but not all variants are the same price. So we're generating a range of pricing instead. So very simple, nice, easy way, but all Notori need to worry about is where their price label goes on their product tile. And again, just as Asaf showed, we've got behaviors there saying, go and take whatever that price label is and swap it out with what we got back from the data. Interesting to note on here as well that we are also tying into a second source of data on this PLP, which is Yotpo, which Notori used to generate their review system. So we're getting that as well. And as Asaf mentioned as well, lots of products with Notori have lots of different variants, meaning that they have different options to show. We're no different here. We're pulling through the different color swatches. And those color swatches are completely clickable and interactable, as you might expect. And in actual fact, because of the way we built this data, we've captured every possible variant that this page could be up front. So when a customer of Notori's clicks on one of these color swatches, we're not reloading the page. We're just simply telling the page, this is how you're meant to look now based on a customer click, which means that we're actually seeing performance improvements on this page based on the fact that we're not having to reload any pages or recall any data. But just to satisfy that first use case I mentioned as well, what if Notori want to come in here and start breaking the mold when it comes to PLPs? Perhaps they want to put in an interrupter or two. If I just copy and paste an interrupter onto the page here, we can see just simply be me copying and pasting that interrupter on. If I just drag it out and maybe stick it up here, and the fact that we built this grid out with a flex layout, so all the things are snapping into places they should, that was a couple of clicks for me to drop an interrupter onto that page and to put some advertising in there. That's a full width for the page interrupter, but there's no reason why we couldn't do the same thing to drop in images instead here. And that's the Notori example. I'm going to hand back to Asaf for the next one.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, again, giving our clients the control, be it again, creative, e-com, marketing, whatever the team makeup might be, giving them control of not only the form, but the function as well, and being able to bring and design these pages as they see fit has been a huge uplift for our clients as well. And while the clients do appreciate the fact that they can bring in dynamic content and weave it into a landing page however they see fit, some of our clients come to us and they just simply want a feature like a quick view or a quick shop, elements that you might have seen on other sites as well as you yourself have been shopping. And that's our next stop here. Our next stop is with the GK Elite team. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen once more. And so with the GK Elite team, what they came to us with is that they wanted to be able to give the user the ability to shop these products regardless of where they might be on the site, giving the user, the shopper, that quick and easy shortcut to the product so that they continue shopping, they continue looking at where they were. They're not being redirected, or there's no extra steps to add to cart, that they're being directed away from the page they're looking at. And that's huge. Now, of course, we're not the only client or company that will do that. There are plenty of apps, plenty of different tools out there that achieve that same functionality. But again, the key thing for us is giving you control over the design. You can design the quick view however you see fit, whether you want one that has plenty of details, plenty of information, or one that's more streamlined. You can give us that design, we can wire it up for you, and then you can utilize it site-wide, be it with faster content or be it on standard content like this. So the idea here, for example, is that on any of these products, I would be able to go ahead and just launch the quick view built out in our Fastr platform. This is what the quick view looks like right here. So again, tons of details with regards to what we can pull in. As was mentioned, we can pull in different integrations, like, for example, their reviews. So bringing to life, bringing together multiple pieces of functionality, multiple integrations and technologies that are being utilized on the site in this one easy to package here that it's easy to digest and be able to interact with. The idea here is very simple, right? I can go ahead and choose the color, I can choose what size, the quantity, and add to cart and go from there. This is what I would call here the standard quick view or standard quick shop functionality here. But what the GK Elite team wanted to implement on their site is actually three different flavors of this very same quick view. They had this one here, which again can be considered the standard design. The next stop here, of course, is one that in this case there is no standard fit. There's no. This is not an off the product shelf or off the shelf product there. Excuse me. But the idea here is that this can be fully customized to the client's request. So in this case, they're still giving the user the idea here of what the price is, the style number, a couple of different details, but the link is simply to a customize and order page rather than something that they can shop directly on the page. So they wanted to make sure that they are counted for all the different possibilities and all the variety of products that you might come across on their site. And then last but not least is a very specific use case. Given here that the GK Elite team sell cheerleading outfits for entire cheerleading teams, they wanted to give the schools and the universities a way to be able to shop and purchase these products at scale. So in this case here, this is the third variant of the quick view functionality, where you can not only choose the color, you can go ahead and choose sizes as well for a group order. So I can choose multiple of each size, be it for child or adult, and add it to cart all in one go. The idea here again is to just streamline that process, where before this would be several clicks, or in other sites themselves, it would be several different go-throughs of the add to cart page, adding multiple in different sizes. This here streamlines that process. Again, making that shortcut so that the client can quickly purchase, they can X out, and if they need to purchase other variations or maybe different uniforms for other teams or other schools as well, they can go ahead and do so. So the idea here again is just bringing together the ease of use or the ease of shopping and bringing it into the site, weaving it into the various areas, be it a landing page or something more traditional like the PLP. But of course, the quick view doesn't have to be limited to product detail and to product shopping. It can bring in other content as well. Many of our clients have utilized this for product education, where this pop-up window would showcase maybe a video, different infographics, different images. It can even be purely built out content in our platform. And that's what the team at Riviera Maison have done. That's the next example we have queued up here for you. And the ability of not only bringing in other content into this quick view or quick view format here, but also implementing other logic that helps ease that shopping journey. So now I'll pass it back to you here.
Well, just share my screen again and talk about Riviera Maison. So yeah, the examples that Asaf just showed as well are very good examples of building out brand new quick views on necessarily non-faster content. But what if you want to combine the two? What if you're using Faster already to build out beautiful banners like this one that Riviera Maison have built, or really high quality images that you want to turn into shoppable images. Maybe it's along the lines of a shop the room like Riviera Maison, or shop the look in more fashion based retailers, whatever it might be. Something that you want to make it as easy as possible for your customers to say, hey, I like this wallpaper. Don't want my customers to go and search for it. So they should be able to just simply click a button here, brings up the quick view, and this is in Dutch, so I can translate some of it, but more informati is more information, and then Winkelwagen is add to cart. But we'll come back to that because actually translations play a key piece here as well. But it means that as a customer, I can say, I like this wallpaper, I want to buy it, simply click add to cart. I get my add to cart success message, and when I close that down, up in the top corner, I've got the product added to my cart. Now, one of the big things here that was a challenge for us to overcome with Revio Maison is these kind of quick views can be built out in Fastr without integrations orchestrations, but you lead to certain challenges. The biggest challenge being product data is changing all the time. Prices are changing, stock availability is changing, all that kind of stuff is changing. And if you've built out content in a very static way within Fastr, you need to go into those areas and change those things as well to make sure you're not misleading customers in terms of price, or that you're directing customers to pages that maybe no longer exist because the product's not available. So one of the first things that we actually do in this experience is we check to see if these product hotspots, which have been added by the Riviera Maison team, and they very easily add, when they add to this hotspot, an indicator to say which product it relates to. But we dynamically go through before we load this experience and check to see if those products are actually available. And if they're not, we simply withdraw the hotspot. So there's no need for the Riviera Maison team on a regular basis, and I would say daily, but it could even be multiple times a day, to have to go in, check if stock's available, and if it's not available, remove that product hotspot as well. The second thing is that the quick view is nice and consistent. This is actually the same quick view every single time, except we're pulling in the right name, the right price, the right description, and the right image. But what we're also doing, because Riviera Maison use us on sites with multiple languages, is for the text that we can't pull in from somewhere like usual, for example, the more information button, which is effectively a static button, or the in Winklewagon, which is obviously add to cart again. If we wanted to put that on an English page, we couldn't use these things. So what we're actually also doing is detecting which of the language pages we're on and providing within the integration of translation, meaning that Riviera Maison don't have to build up a different version of the quick view for every single language site that they use. And that even comes down to the success message for the add to cart as well. So really useful tool in that. And in fact, Riviera Maison, with the way we built this is we gave them the template for the first one, if you like. But since then, they've really gone and run with it. So I can actually tell you that over on the left-hand side, this shell over here, this would have a hotspot on it, but it is currently out of stock. But not only have they done whole banners for this shop the room style experience, but on the same page further down, they've even gone into even higher quality images of specific areas in that room and still employed the same sort of functionality here as well. So multiple shop the rooms, shop the looks, all on the same page. And then lastly as well, as Asaf mentioned, quick views don't always have to be shoppable quick views. Ideally, as Asaf mentioned before, you're using a quick view to provide something to the customer without taking them away from where they were. So a really good example of that, which is also in the Riviera Maison site, are these product badges that they've got. So if I've got a product badge, this is for a premium delivery service that they offer on certain products. If I want to know what premium delivery actually means, traditionally, companies may have decided, well, if you scroll down the page a little bit, you might find that information down here somewhere. But as soon as I scroll down the page, it's taking me away from where I want my customers to be, at least anyway, which is the button that leads to conversion. So instead, what Riviera Maison decided to do is, well, we could have a different type of quick view, or call it a sidebar if you like. So when we click on those badges, we get this sidebar up on the right-hand side, giving us all the information that we need. However, I can still see the add to cart button underneath that. I can digest that information, close it down, and think, do you know what? I actually do want to go ahead with that purchase and put it in the add to cart as well. So we often talk about quick views being the thing that's going to lead a customer to buy something, but it doesn't necessarily always have to be. It could just be the thing that gives the customer they need to make that purchasing decision whilst not taking them away from the place that they would complete the purchase as well. So two really good examples there. And as I say, with Riviera Maison, with the badges, we gave them the first one, and the shop the room, we gave them the first one, but they now have this on multiple pages, very easy for them to replicate and move on to other pages on their site as well. And that's it for Riviera Maison.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Niall. Again, folks, that brings us to the end of the examples we have. By no means is that the last time. If there's ever any questions, or if you want to get a more detailed walkthrough of some of the examples you saw, happy to set up that call. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to your customer success manager. We can hop on and take you through any ideas that you might have. So just let us know. Of course, we have a couple more minutes here, so if there are any questions, feel free to drop them into the Q&A button there. But ultimately, we really appreciate the time here. This session was recorded as well, so if there is a need for any recordings, just let us know. And again, we can certainly send it over to you. All right. And if there are no questions, we can wrap it here. So again, thank you all for the time.